Welcome to my channel, INTJ Island. Today I'm going to talk about how an INTJ can deal with a broken heart. With so many people talking about the INTJ mastermind and how INTJs are plotting world domination, many people would think a broken heart is not part of that profile. But there is no one who can fall harder and suffer more painfully than an INTJ who has lost a true love. In my last video, I focused upon how a narcissist can do this to us, but there is a wide range of possible ways we can lose someone dear to us. The worst case scenario is that someone we deeply care about dies. It might be that our partner simply loses interest and walks away. So, for this video, I will set aside the cause and deal with the effect, a broken heart. I came across a question the other day. Why is it that a joke loses its power to make me laugh with repetition, but some memories make me cry every time? The INTJ likes to analyze problems to find a solution. It is what we do best. But how do you analyze a broken heart? What did you do wrong? Can it be fixed? But you will usually find yourself chasing your tail in the end. There is no good answer. You did your best. You poured your heart and soul into the relationship. You did nice things. You solved problems. You were loyal. And your love for your partner was true. And yet, it ended for whatever reason. And your mind starts over, reanalyzing, stuck in a loop. And through each iteration, it hurts as much as it did the time before. The pain is there, and the confusion is there, and your desire to sort it all out is as strong as ever. So you give it another try. I once again think of the INTJ Ebenezer Scrooge as his fiancée walked away from him, leaving him in confusion as to what he had done wrong. He was succeeding in business so they would be set for life, but she just got tired of waiting and left. You could feel the confusion Ebenezer was feeling as he was once again confronting this event with the spirit of Christmas past. He had obviously been troubled over this event ever since it had happened. I remember one evening a little after my ex-wife left me, when a friend of mine and I were putting away a few beers in his room in the men's barracks. There was a beer machine, just like a Coke machine, that was on the second deck, and we could have a party without leaving the building. As is usually the case in such discussions, we found the answers to everything in the haze of inebriation, and I vowed that I would never fall in love again. My friend said that all women were no good, and so the conversation sunk into stupidity very quickly. It truly felt like the answer to a broken heart was the one that Ebenezer Scrooge found. Just close your heart down and don't let anyone else in, ever. But still, as Scrooge found out from the spirit, the pain doesn't go away simply because you do that. It has to be forcibly removed somehow. For the INTJ, we tend to use our introverted intuition and our extroverted thinking to try and deal with our hurting introverted feeling. We can use our extroverted sensing as well by exercising, eating, or as happened with me that night, getting drunk. But in the end, we have to face up to the pain and confront it. Once we know that our lover is gone for good, we need to accept that fact. This is not as easy as one might think. We are problem solvers, and this is definitely a problem. So, as with all problems, our mind wants to work on it. But it is like trying to find the last digit of an irrational number. You can't get there. We have to take that first step of accepting the fact that the one we loved is gone for good. We can help this process out by no longer looking at the object of our love as our lover, present tense, and changing that to our former lover, past tense. It is a little thing, but it helps. She is gone, and she will never come back. It is over. There is power in this acceptance because it alters our perception of the relationship such that it now is not a problem we can solve, but something beyond our ability to alter. It falls into the area of all things that we cannot change, like the gravitational constant or the value of pi. We don't feel emotions about the gravitational constant or the value of pi. And so, by connecting this failed romance to other things that are devoid of emotional content, it can help to drain some of the emotions off of this problem. The wound at this point is still open and raw, but you can now stop worrying at it and making it worse. Something that can be powerfully helpful is if you have someone to open up to about your pain. For me, I put away a few beers and I could open up enough to let my friend know I was hurting badly, but it was only minimally helpful. He was not a close friend, and I wasn't going to get into the real pain I was feeling with him. To this day, I am closed off to the world of my emotions. I couldn't have just walked up to a mere acquaintance and said, "I love that girl with all of my heart. She was my world, and she ripped my heart right out of my chest and stomped all over it. I am dying inside." I grew up with family secrets. I didn't talk about my father's drinking outside of our home, and in fact, I didn't talk about it all that much inside our home. We just tippy-toed around the elephant in the living room. My problems and my emotions are my own, and I don't naturally want to share them with anyone. It takes a very close person, someone inside my inner circle, for me to open up to and dump my emotional garbage out there, especially the details where the real pain lives. Well, in my time of need, I was at school, a temporary duty station, and I had no such person on base. However, I had one person I could turn to, and he was ironically my ex-wife's father. He was working in the Bay Area while his wife was still in Janesville, California. We hung out together a lot during that time. He knew the situation and was very supportive to me. I do remember one conversation early on where I was still trying to work through what had happened, but I had not yet accepted the fact that it was over. And he explained to me, "You can do something with anger or even hate, but there is nothing you can do with apathy." That was what I needed to hear right then, because it helped me to see that she no longer felt anything for me but apathy. I had to cut her loose for good. I left school around June of 1974 and was transferred to a ship, a Navy destroyer, the USS Osborne, DD-846. My ship was in the yards in Seattle, Washington, and at night I would catch a bus over to the area at the Seattle Space Needle, and there is a fountain with a huge wall around it and is tapered down in a way that makes it a great place to sit. I spent most of my evenings there for a couple of weeks, watching the water and thinking about life and love and pain. I found peace at that fountain. I can't say exactly where it came from, but somewhere in all that thinking I found a way to drain away most of that pain. I finally started to look at life with optimism again. And my final step, which made me truly feel brand new again on the inside, was when my wife of today walked up the gangway of my ship in Portland, Oregon, after the ship got out of the yards and we were back in our home port. I tell my wife often that finding her was the luckiest event in my life. It is true. After nearly 43 years of marriage, if I were given the choice, I would marry her again instantly without reservation. Every INTJ will have a unique path that leads to the road to recovery. I think it is important to reach that level of healing where you have peace in your heart before jumping into a new relationship. When your heart lies bleeding on the ground, you are in no position to think soundly, and there is no decision you will make in life that requires sound thinking more than the choice of the one with whom you will spend the rest of your life. In other videos, I have discussed many of the details about when I met my wife of today, including the mental checklist I used at the beginning. I think it is wise to know what you are looking for in a mate before you even start dating. Identify the characteristics that your future partner will absolutely need to have and the ones that will be showstoppers for you. That is a bare minimum. Love can be the best thing that you ever find in life, or it can be the worst. I have experienced both sides of this, and I hope that if your heart is broken, it doesn't permanently stop you from looking. There is nothing else like finding your soulmate and best friend, who will be your lover for the rest of your life. A joke will lose its power to make you laugh through repetition. A painful event will lose its power through acceptance. Has your heart been broken? How did you deal with it? Please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please click like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you click on the bell, you will also receive notifications when I put up a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.